Hey kiddos, so one of our first assignments that I will be sending back to your social studies teachers is talking about economic impact. Okay, so one of the main things that I want y'all to think about whenever you hear any word associated with economics is money. Always think money, okay? So we're going to go over some terms here and then we'll go on to drawing some pictures of our terms. So our first term is economics. That's a branch of knowledge concerned with the production. So that means like the making of goods, like how to make beds, how to make food, the making of something. Consumption, so that's us buying the product, and transfer of wealth. So that's just the transfer of money from from buying the product and gaining the product and all that good stuff. Scarcity means being short in supply. So I look at the S's and it's scarcity, short. So scarcity means to be short in supply. Capitalism, for a free market, is an economy where prices are set by supply and demand. Okay, so supply is the amount of product there is, and then demand is the amount of people wanting that product. So, for example, whenever the new iPhone comes out, it is a product that they don't make a lot of at first because there is a high demand. People want that new iPhone so they can charge a lot of money and get a lot of money that way. However, over time, as more people have the phone and the supply starts to go up, more people have access to it, so that means the demand for it, the people that want it, goes down because they already have it. Okay? The last word that we're going to look at is population, and that is the number of people in a particular place or area. Okay? So that's the words that we're looking at. We have economics. That's just the study of what? Money. Scarcity means being short in supply, and capitalism is kind of for a free market. It's like economics, but it's how the capitalism and spending is happening. What are the people wanting, and what are the demands for that? Okay, and then population is the number of people in a particular area. So right here it says create an illustration, which means a drawing. Okay. A drawing for each term. You can draw it or copy it from the internet. You will draw your picture on the form provided and then upload it and send it to your social studies teacher on Canvas. You're going to send it to me. You're going to send it to Miss Amond, okay? Send it to Amond, all right? Don't send it to your social studies teacher. Send it to me, okay? And we are going to draw. We are not going to look it up on the internet. I'm going to help you. I'll make the picture simple. Just copy the best that you can from what I draw, okay? So this should be your next page. Economics. Remember, anything is involving economics means money. And economics is the study, so it's kind of like the knowledge. So I'm going to try and draw like a little brain, because your brain has a lot of knowledge. Okay, so there's my attempt at a brain. Not all that great, but so knowledge of money. All right. Capitalism. Remember, capitalism is also about money, but it's the supply and demand. So I'm going to draw a hand because that's me. I'm the demand, and I'm wanting to buy a product. So I'm going to draw like a dollar bill right here. So that's me buying something. I'm going to put $100 because I have a $100 bill. Okay, capitalism is the supply and demand. Okay, population, that's the number of people, right? So I'm just going to draw a bunch of stick figures in a circle because population is the number of people within a particular area. Okay. Y'all's pictures are going to turn out so much better than Miss Amond's because Miss Amond cannot draw. So there's population, the number of people in a particular area. Now scarcity, remember the S, short in supply. So I'm going to draw a piece of pizza because everyone likes pizza, right? And then there's just one piece of pizza, and I'm going to draw 4 hands going for that piece of pizza. All right. 4 hands. So there's 1, 2, because there's short supply for 4 people. All 4 people want that pizza. All right. You can pause your video and draw these. Take your time. It's no big deal. But remember, economics is the knowledge of money, or an economy, it's how the money is being spent. Or if it had, like, a bad economy means there's not a lot of money being spent. A good economy means there's a lot of money to be spent, okay? Capitalism is the supply and demand. So I'm trying to buy that new phone. I'll go ahead and add a little phone over here, right? Okay, supply and demand. Population is the number of people within an area, and scarcity means short supply. The S, short supply. Okay, so there's our pictures. All right, last page. You can use your calculator if you would like. I'm going to have mine off to the side to do my math, just to make sure I do it right, because I'm sure y'all will definitely figure out if I do it wrong. All right. So, if I look up at the top, hold on, let me find my calculator real quick. All right. If I'm looking up at the top, this is kind of like my key for all the information, okay? This says the Rockets game ticket price is $67. Astros game ticket price is $54. Disney World ticket price for 1 day for an adult is $150, and for 1 day for a child is $100. It's pretty expensive. So we're going to answer these questions. These are like our math word problems, guys, and I promise you can do it. I'm doing it right along with you, okay? So it says, if you wanted to go to a Rockets game with 4 other people, based on the ticket price, how much would it cost the group? Okay, so how much is kind of my key word, and 4 people, okay? But it also says 4 other people, so you got to add yourself to that. So we're going to do 4 plus 1 equals 5. So there's 5 people going, and it's each. So whenever I hear the word each, I have to multiply. Multiply. All right? So I'm going to multiply 5, because that's how many people are going. And then the Rockets tickets are $67. So this is what I want you to write. I want you to write 67 times 5 equals. Okay? Now I want you to go to your calculator. Let me make sure y'all can see it. All right? And we're going to do 67 times, because it's each, right? Each person has to pay that amount. And that we should get $335. In your blank, I want you to put the dollar sign, and I want you to write 335, okay? Now, another way I could have done this was to add 67 5 times, but multiplying it is a lot quicker, okay? So now let's go on to number 2. If there is a family of 3 planning on one, so that's number 1, day trip to Disney World, how much would it cost for 2 adults and 1 child? Okay, so that word and how much tells me I'm going to add it, all right? Okay, so I have 2 adults. So my cost for an adult is $150. So I'm going to write that down 2 times. I could multiply it or I could add it. I'm just going to go ahead and add it for our purposes, because we only have 2, okay? So I'm going to put 150, because that's how much it costs, plus another 150, because there's 2 adults, and it says 1 child. So if I look up here, Disney World tickets, 1 child, $100. All right? Guys, at any time, if you need to pause the video to write down the work, please do so. It is no problem. All right, let me make sure y'all can see my calculator one more time. Alrighty. So if I do this problem, I have 150 plus 150 plus 100, and that equals $400. Okay? That's for one family to go to Disney World. All right. Okay. Now let's go on to the last problem, and then we'll answer this question. If the average attendance at Disney World has 37,000 adults, how much money would Disney make on ticket sales for one day? All right. So 37,000, each person is going to pay, and this is just for adults, $150. Whenever I hear that word each, I know I'm going to multiply. Okay? 37,000 adults each pay $150 a day. So let's go ahead and write that down. 37,000 times 150, because it's adults and adults cost $150, is equal to, okay, let me show you on my phone. You should get the same thing on your calculator. 37,000. Make sure you have the 3 zeros after the 37 times 150, because that's how much it costs for each adult. 150 equals, oh my goodness, guys, $5,550,000. That is just for the adults. That is not including the kids. And that's for just one day. So, I don't know if y'all know this, but Disney is closed. It is closed for good to protect people from COVID, or the virus, coronavirus. And now what we're learning is that our economy might be affected, right? Because there's no money being bought on these different products. There's not people going out and spending a bunch of money on going out to eat, or going to amusement parks, or going to zoos, or going to the gym. So a lot of this, there's going to be less money being pumped into the economy, so it's going to be affected. So down here at the bottom, do you think with Disneyland being closed, they are losing money? They don't have any money coming in. So definitely they are losing money. Yes, they are losing money. They are probably trying to figure out other ways to make money. I saw that they released one of their new movies, Onward, onto Apple the other day, so you can purchase that if you wanted to buy that. But that didn't get released into theaters, which if you release a movie into theaters, it's a lot more expensive to go to the movies than it is to watch a movie at home. So they're losing money there as well. So all of this stuff that's going on with the virus is probably going to impact our economy, the amount of money that's being put into the economy, and probably affect some jobs. Okay? So that's going to be our social studies lesson for the next couple of days. Make sure you get this done. Take a picture of each page and send it back to me. Okay? On this one, you can just put your name. If you want, you can maybe underline some of these key things, but go ahead and submit each picture back to me, okay? So this is 1, 2, and 3. For the math, I want to see your work and the answer and what I circle in the problems, okay? You don't have to write the each in times, but I want to see what you underline and your work, all right? Okay, guys, that's it.